is that women need to really step up and get involved from the precinct level to the higher levels of state office in the party to fulfill our places and help make change. And I'm going to turn this over to Sarah Peebler, who is the president of Edgecombe Democratic Women.
Ms. Starrington, before she come, I have a question.
Yes.
You talked about having precinct meetings regularly, but how can you have an effective precinct meeting when you have no direction from the party? Did they discuss that? Because if you don't even have a monthly Democratic Party meeting, I mean, how do you effectively have a precinct meeting?
They were suggesting that the members of the precinct decide that they were going to be very active throughout 2018 to effect some change. So I believe those changes would have to come within the current leadership of the precincts to decide what they're going to do to get their friends and neighbors out to vote and make a difference.
The precinct themselves?
Yes.
Okay, so you telling me that a precinct that's out in the county with no agenda can just come up with something when you have no direction from the county party? I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I mean, I probably could do it because I'm active, but I have a problem with it with somebody that's not active in their precinct. So I think throwing out stuff like that, to me, it just don't make it with me.
Well,
people got to have something to go on.
This body would have to come together with a quorum present and come up with some encouraging steps to take towards moving 2018 into a greater change for the Blue.
And my last question is, who are on the executive committee other than you, state executive committee from this county other than you?
I know that I am the minority female member. Jim Marrow is the minority male member. My notes that recorded the other two members, I have not been able to put my hands on it, so I'm not sure who they are.
Okay.
Let me answer a question he already has the answer to. I am on that committee. Mrs. Martha Johnson, Mrs. Glenda Knight, Mrs. Glenda Goins, and Mr. Morrow. Those are the committee members.
I do not have those answers because I left the meeting when y'all voted on it, and do not try to speak for me. I can speak for myself.
You finished, Mrs. Goins? Let's proceed to Democratic Women this time.
And in the future, if you're not going, how about let somebody be a proxy?
Is that a question?
No, that was a tale. You need to have a proxy.
Sarah Peebler, and I'm the president of the Democratic Women of Edgecombe County, and I'm not here by myself tonight, and I'd like for every member of the Democratic Women to raise their hands, because there's a lot of us in the room. And if you're not sitting there with your hands raised, please pick up a copy of the invitation, which is out on the table, where Martha was handing out or taking registrations. We also do accept men as associate members, and so we're open to everybody. It's an exciting year coming up for the Democratic Women, but as Dr. Armstrong said, we're in a period of who knows. We just don't know a lot of what's going to be happening going towards the election in 2018. So what we are intending to do as Democratic Women is to educate ourselves as this stuff unfolds, and we begin to see what the maps will be, who the candidates will be, what the processes will be, so that we will be ready once that is known to us to step right off and begin to look at what we need to do to prepare for the 2018 election. The other thing that we are very, very interested in is exactly what Linda suggested, getting women to run. Identifying women and helping them prepare and make their way through various steps so that they'll be ready for elective office. And Barbara Campbell Davis, Judith Moss have been working very hard on identifying that one first step, which is appointments to town and county committees and commissions. And so we are taking a hard look at what the committees and commissions are, what the composition of those committees and commissions are in terms of men and women, and helping the town and the county elected officials find women who would willingly serve and are able to run as a first step toward moving toward elective office. So that's a longer term project, but it's one that we're beginning to get our hands around since we can't get our hands around much of anything else at this point. We have a meeting coming up on the 24th of March, and I will say this, we have struggled with when to meet, and our weeknights are just convoluted and crazy, and we have had a terrible time finding a weeknight that suits everybody, and so we are experimenting with Saturday morning meetings. And so what we're doing is going over to the library, and they open at 9, and we plug the coffee pot in at 9, and we meet from 9 until 10:30, and we're pretty punctual about getting our business done so that people can go back out and do other things on Saturday morning. We're going to keep at this and see if it works. The other thing that I'd like to mention, in addition to inviting you on the 24th, is to visit our Facebook page. We're working very hard on getting our Facebook page up and running. As of today, we've got 100 friends, and please become our friend. We're going to be working on seeing how we can make the Facebook page dynamic and useful for everybody in Edgecombe County. Anybody can like our Facebook page. A lot of our elected officials are beginning to like it. So it's DW Edgecombe, and please go and take a look at it. If you have any questions, you saw who raised their hand that they were members of the Democratic Women. We would be delighted to talk with you because just like the Democratic Party, growing our membership is a goal for 2018 and 19 and 20 because we have several elections ahead. Are there any questions or anything that I can expand on? Yeah.
Allow me to ask the question without being, trying to stay between the lines, but I do have this question been asked to me. It appears that in your campaign for women, there are men that are Democrat as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so help me understand.
Who we are?
No, help me understand if the men, if Democratic men, is their percentage of voter turnout is much lower, then are they just left behind or?
I certainly hope not. Well, we're hoping to get voters registered, no matter whether they're men, women, young, old.
What I'm saying is,
our membership.
it appears that your campaign is about getting women elected.
Yes,
But we all are Democrats.
that's true. But the goal of the Democratic Women of North Carolina, and we are an affiliate of the Democratic Women of North Carolina. We're members of that group and of the National Democratic Women. So a lot of our agenda follows the agenda of the Democratic Women. Does that answer the question? But, we want everybody to get registered and to get elected, but we're particularly interested in seeing more women elected and to find the pathways that can help get them there. Okay.
Ms. Pepper, I think Ms. Goins mentioned that from the state meeting, getting more women involved, but maybe my memory don't serve me right. But also we have a Edgecombe County men's Democrat, and hold on, and over the years have tried to be a part of it, even before the last one, the chair. So therefore, I'm still waiting on the men's of Edgecombe County. We have a chair, and his name was called tonight. So therefore, well, you get the minutes, you'll know. But I'm not even answering. I let them answer. But I'm saying we have a men's Democratic person here, so that's who that need to be directed to, because we as men. But I am associate member of the women, and I plan on serving every aspect. And I agree, the women are doing the work. I have no problem with that. But the men, we do our part.
Yeah,
So-
one thing that I'll mention, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the Democratic men are not an official affiliate organization of the Democratic Party of North Carolina. The Democratic women are, Young Democrats are, the African American Caucus is, and this provides these groups with a different place at the table, I guess I might say. And you can be a member of everything. You can be a young Democrat and you can be a Democratic woman. We're trying to get some of our 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds to be part of the Democratic women. And so if you've got a daughter and a granddaughter, send them our way and we'll help them become good Democrats. So, anything else? Thank you very much. And we will look forward to seeing everybody at the library on, or as we say in Tennessee, the library, on the 24th of March. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Willingham, you have anything you want to share with us today?
I'll try to be brief. Let me just respond. First of all, the party, the Democratic Party, is pushing women to stop. If you look at what has happened over the nation, you see there's been a women that's really turning things around. And also, if you look at elected officials, there's a disparity of number of women who are being elected, who are serving right now. And of course, if you look at the voters, it's a majority of females, women who are going out voting. So let me just get that out of the way. The other thing too is I do serve on the House Committee on the Elections and Ethics, and just as Lawrence mentioned, we're waiting too to see what happens. I can tell you that the Republicans are working right now trying to find a scheme how they can continue what they're doing. And even though the courts have already decided that the districts, some of our districts in the House District and the Senate District for the legislature were unconstitutional, they're still, they just made an appeal to the Supreme Court to try to block that because the three-judge panel has already decided again that, you know, election should go forward. So that's, in a way, from the election point of view, is in limbo, because it would have something to do with the filing dates. So these dates here are good for tonight. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The other thing, too, is that the courts, as a matter of fact, the three-judge panel, they also decided that the lines for the congressional districts, you know, were unconstitutional, so the new maps were drawn. And of course, you had some people who already indicated they want to run in these new maps. But the Republicans also filed with the Supreme Court to suspend that, which the Supreme Court has delayed that. So right now, it looks like, as far as the congressional districts, you're going to have to run with the old lines. But I feel from all that we're hearing, it appears that as far as the legislative districts, we would probably be able to run with the new lines. I mean, that we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like. But either way, no matter what we end up with, it appears that Edgecombe County is going to have a new Senate district. That's going to happen, no matter what maps they go with. So, so we'll have a new Senate district. And that district will be part of the Edgecombe County, Wilson County, and Halifax County. So that's a new district that's being created. So we'll see what happens with that. The other thing too is I serve on the recruiting committee for the Democratic Caucus, and our goal is to have a candidate in all 120 House districts. We want to have opposition, have people running. And right now, we have an excellent slate of candidates that are running. And if we able to run with the new maps, we feel pretty confident that we can break the supermajority. And that's our goal for 2018 right now, break the supermajority. And if that happens, when that happens, then the conversation will be completely different in Raleigh. Because then there has to be some negotiation with us, with the Democrats. Right now, Republicans don't have to negotiate with us. They can do whatever they want, period. They don't need us. So it's important that we get people elected and pick up seats in the House, and also trying to pick up seats in the Senate, but that's a little more difficult. So what will happen right now is that if things go the way we suspect they will, the filing will go on for the legislative districts and congressional districts. But the judges, of course, we're in the process, also serve on the redistricting committee, but we're in the process of redrawing judicial districts, and that's a little more tricky. That also is in the courts, because what the Republicans did, they did away with primaries for judges. And of course, all judges now will also be partisan elections, so they feel like that gives them an advantage, because they know Republicans, where judgeships we thought would be, non-partisan kinds of things, where it shouldn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, to dispense out fair justice. But they seem to think that it's a little different. But in the meanwhile, what the courts did has not accepted these. We haven't finished drawing them, really. We're still messing with them. But the courts still have not accepted the fact of doing away with the primaries. And that was struck down. But the Republicans also asked for a stay on that. So they're going to the Supreme Court asking them to do away with that so we can still not have primaries for judgeships. So you can see there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. But nothing has changed in the fact that if we get people out and go ahead and we need to keep registering people and also make sure people excited and know that there is an election coming up and that they need to be involved, because that's going to make the difference. And I think that we have the momentum as Democrats right now. And I think if we keep that momentum, I think with the participation of a lot of people who haven't participated in the process over a long period of time, it's going to make a difference. And the big difference will be the females. So I think we should push and support female candidates. As a matter of fact, most of the candidates that we have, that we've recruited, a large number of those are females. And a lot of these people came forward. We didn't have to work real hard to try to get them. I mean, they were so disgusted with what has happened over the last year that they're coming out of the woodworks and they want to run. And these are quality candidates, and I think you'll be proud of the ones that we have that will be running. So, let's see. I don't think of anything I can tell you. Like I say, it's a mess in Raleigh, but we endure. And that's why they pay us the big bucks to go up there. Spend the time. I'm glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Mr. Wilhelm, I appreciate you clarifying about the women, because I think I just saw today where in Georgia, they may have the opportunity to elect the first African-American governor as a woman. So I'm all for women, because I know who are doing the work. In my previous, since I've been a member of the Edgecombe County Democratic Party, women has been the backbone. The Democratic women back then in 1998, when I was chairing the party, made all the difference. The Democratic women now, that's why I support them, because they're making all the difference. But they are being hindered by the county party. That's my opinion, not speaking for them. So I'm hoping that they go ahead and do what they got to do and make it happen, because I depend on the Democratic women of Edgecombe County, and I appreciate all that y'all do. Thank you.
Okay, no other questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Willingham. Okay, in your packet, you'll see what I put together to be our strategic plan for 2018 and 2019. Let's turn to that right quickly, if you don't mind. These are the 6 bullets that I want us. These are the 6 bullets that I think that if we conquer these, that we will be a much stronger and a more cohesive group. I kind of came into office and I started working on some of these things, not really knowing that it was a part of the bullet plan that I wanted to put together for the party. Some of these areas we've kind of mastered, but there are some areas that we can make a little bit stronger. To piggyback off the conversation earlier, as it relates to the auxiliaries, there is a Democratic Men Auxiliary formed for the Edgecombe County. We do not have a person that is willing to chair that, but there is a auxiliary, Democratic Men. So I'm putting it out. If you're interested, if you feel like you have the answers, if you feel like you can do it, then come to me and let's talk about formulating Democratic Men for Edgecombe County. I want to work on us possibly forming the Young Democrats and then the Latino Democrats. I've had several conversations with some individuals in the county who want us to go after the Latino population. And so that is one of our goals that I want to do. I want us to go after that population of people because they too are being affected by some of the programs that are coming down. And so that is one of the goals under party building that I really want us to focus on and tackle in 18. Everything else pretty much under as what is the party building, we have pretty much mastered that, or we're well on our way to making that happen for the party. Okay? Any questions about anything on the party building? Yes.
Mr. Chair, the last time I checked, unless something changed, Reverend Thomas Walker was the Democratic chair.
It has changed. I had a conversation with him at length related to that. And he expressed some issues to me as it relates to that I will not share. But as I forestated, we do not have an individual to lead the Democratic Men for the party. Okay?
Okay, that's the type of information that needs to be brought to my attention, and that's why I keep telling you, it needs to be some communication. Also, when y'all have y'all little county officers meetings, I have requested that y'all make us aware so we can attend. I know we do not have to be able to speak, but we can attend and listen to the conversation. And that's all I have for right now.
Anything else on the party building that y'all want to discuss? Anything on the party? Yes.
Sort of back to Reverend Gray's comment, and I think this is something that we as the Democratic women would find very helpful, is to be part of the conversation that develops the overall party strategy, because we're trying to read the tea leaves and say, where is the party going, but we really don't know where the party's going. This is the first time that I've seen this. I believe that the African American caucus and Democratic women could have a place at the table with the officers of the county. And maybe the next time that you all are talking about this, has this been brought to the officers meeting?
Yes.
Okay. But I think it might be helpful for those of us who are working with the auxiliaries, bring everybody together to be part of that conversation.
Can I say something? You need to look back at the top of this, and you need to look at your agenda. What your agenda states that this is your Edgecombe County strategic plan. The plan is what you do when you put it out there to let everybody know what direction we're going to go in and what we're going to do. So prior to this meeting or prior to this point, there was not a need for anybody to sit in on anything. We're just now beginning this election cycle. We do need to come together as Democrats and work a strategic plan. But that's what we're doing. That's why we're here now. That's why we're talking now. So we can't, there's no need, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I think this plan, this strategic plan that you're being presented with tonight did not just fall out of the sky. There were people that worked on this, and I'm suggesting that perhaps the two auxiliaries that are able to be at the table could be at the table in the development of this. I think it would really help in coordinating what we're doing totally as a party, rather than the women over here, the African American caucus over there, the party going here. The work, no, yeah, this came from somewhere, and I'm just suggesting that perhaps that somewhere might be, have a couple more seats at the table.
Excuse me, Marcia, I know I'm jumping in, I'm just sorry, but, the reason that Democratic women, the reason that, the Board of Election, the reason that the African American caucus and so forth, they're always included. We don't, when we have a joint meeting of everybody, everybody's included. If you have something extra, then you know, you need to say something. Y'all have to excuse me, but you know, you need to, we're gonna have to work together. Bottom line, we're gonna have to work together. But before we can work together, we gotta have a plan. So, you know, it's not a matter of anybody getting together and coming up with something and not including you. That's why you're here tonight. Because we need to strategize how we're gonna work together to make sure that Democrats are put forward and win these positions and that we got qualified people to run for offices and stuff. We got to work together. It ain't no way we can do it unless we work together.
And I think that's exactly what I'm saying. But if indeed we're working together, we need to know when those times of working together are. Tonight, I don't think this is the place where we're going to hash out a strategic plan. You've done it. It's finished. So
No.
you're asking for us to affirm it or not. So I think that that's basically what I would like to say from the Democratic women. And I don't know, Deborah, if you have anything to say from the African American caucus about being involved in some of the earlier steps or not.
No, I don't. It's, you know, I understand that we just now getting started with the election cycle, and I'm sure forthcoming, there'll be some more information put out there. That's my
Thank you,
feedback.
thank you, thank you.
Okay?
Mr. Chair, I want some input on this. I understand this is the election cycle, but we know the election was coming. Now, I disagree. I'm speaking for me as Precinct 11-1. I want to be at the table, and I have requested it. When you have a county officers meeting, I learned about one, I went, and it was ugly. That's why Attorney Jim Merrill is not here tonight, I'm quite sure. But in a future meeting, I am requesting again tonight, y'all make them public to us so we can attend if we choose to, so I can come in and listen to what's going on. Now, I don't understand why it's so hard about that, and tonight I hope we're not asking to vote on this strategic plan, because like the sister just said, I need some input on it before, y'all to send it to us before we even got here, so we could have looked at it. But to come here tonight and talk about voting on something, and then at the end of the meeting I got something about the voting too, but anyway, that's my say for right now.
Anything else? Okay. I see what's going on, but I'm not gonna fall for what's going. Yes, Dr. Armstrong.
Like it out of the land. Just stop, and I'll stop. Just stop, and I won't say anything else. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. We're talking about what could have happened. It didn't happen. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna keep talking about what could have happened? Should have happened. I want it to happen. History. Can't we move forward? Now, sure, I'm listening to what everybody is saying. Sure, I would love to have been to the table, but I wasn't invited. I don't go places I'm not invited. So you weren't invited, you didn't go to the table. Now you have an opportunity to look at this strategic plan. If you're not in total agreement with everything in this plan, I'm sure that our leader will consider amending whatever is in place. Everybody can't be in charge. And see, we got a problem. That's why Democrats not in office. And we got to try to get some in office. Because if you don't do it my way, it ain't gonna be no way. So now can we all just think? Sometimes you have to hold your tongue. And I know we don't mean any harm. You know, like the older, I'm mellow. And I'm saying this. But I do know we got to get together. We have to work together. If we didn't collaborate, now we can collaborate. How we gonna make this work? And then from that we can learn and grow. But if I go in my corner with my marbles, you go in your corner with your marbles, we ain't doing that. Now we need to get together. All this biting, this just snapping like turtles in here needs to stop. We'll do it. And I come to a meeting, and I'm willing to help wherever I can. I ain't got to be in charge. Just give me a task, and I will complete it. If everybody in this room is a true Democrat, you'll do the same thing. You need somebody to pass out flyers, you need somebody. Everybody can't be a show horse. We need some workhorses. Now let's think about it. We need workhorses. When I look at that treasurer's report and what our balance is, who can you support? You can't contribute anything to anybody for anything. It costs money to run for office.
I'm glad you're saying
It
something that makes
costs
sense.
money for you to support
Other than make
the Democratic movement. Please emphasize when we have these precinct meetings, even though we pay a dime per Democrat, we need to make some contributions. You get what you pay for. That's all I got to say. You get exactly what you pay for.
And that's why I ain't been paying.
And we need
last
to
year.
start investing in what we
It sure ain't.
say we do.
Spending this money for
If
nothing.
you want something, pay for it. It's time out for all this lip service. Put your money where your mouth is. And let's get to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Armstrong.